Hello, this Hangout on Air is live. This Dawn Busters is occurring at this very moment in time, 6:12 a.m. Central Standard Time, January 13th, 2019. Dawn is just starting to come into play here. It's still very dark. Going to be a clear day, chilly day, but clear, drying up, whatnot. Weather report is over. We have, from a company founded in 1830, Bellows Club Whiskey. What clubs will you see this in? None, probably, but I did see it at a Chinese restaurant in this town, so some people have it. I don't think it's produced anymore. They still make Bellows whiskey, blended whiskey, and Bellows straight bourbon whiskey, but I didn't see the club whiskey listed on the Bellows, the Lux Co website. But this was back when it was under the control of Jim Beam Company. All right, so it started in 1830 as a wine merchant, whiskey merchant, sort of like Justerini and Brooks. You might have noticed I posted a review of J&B whiskey, which is their house brand. But just like Justerini and Brooks, Bellows mainly just like had whiskeys produced. Other people would contract that. All right, but anyway, this was the Jim Beam era. Now it's the Lux Co era. And we have Ancient Age Preferred, another one of these buyout items. This is now owned by Sazerac. Ancient Age was introduced in 1936, and now it is made at, if you look on the Buffalo Trace Distillery website, this is one of their brands, Ancient Age. This is the blended brand. Now they have Ancient Age 80 proof straight bourbon, Ancient Age 10-star 6-year-old straight bourbon, and then an Ancient Age 90 proof straight bourbon. So part of the Ancient Age family. You can feel a little texture on the label. Each letter has a texture. These ivory letters with the AA. And if you study Ancient Age carefully, you'll notice that back in 1936, it was a knockoff, probably very nearly a trademark infringement of Ancient Bottle, because there used to be a product called Seagram's Ancient Bottle Gin, and then they had Ancient Bottle Whiskey, and it was the A and all that was almost the same design. So all of a sudden, Ancient Age comes on the market with that same type of old bottle. I said, oh, okay, see what they were going for. But that's all over with now. Ancient Age just stands on its own. It doesn't try to mimic the other one. DJ Mexicano de Tejas says, what's up, Louisiana beer reviews? Oh, well, we're not doing beer review today. We're doing a whiskey examination, taste challenge. So let me get my glasses. The Glencairn, the two that are left, I broke the other two on accident. They're so flimsy, you almost hate to tap them against each other. Nice glasses, but boy, no resilience. All right, Ancient Age Preferred, AAP and BCW, Bellows Club Whiskey. This Ancient Age Preferred was, it was $8.99 for this 750 milliliter bottle at BenQ Liquor on Louisiana Highway 438, Perkins Road, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the eastbound side of the highway, in case you need to know that. The Bellows Club Whiskey was purchased at International Market on Barron Street in Metairie, Louisiana. If you find Barron Street, you'll find International Market, because Barron Street is only one block. Okay, there isn't much on that street. I mean, there's some things, but you'll see it. You can't miss it. It's an International Market. An odd place, if there was ever an odd place. The Whiskey Scout was like, I gotta go there. I gotta go there. And he was going to drive all the way here from Natchitoches. I said, well, don't go that far. It's worth a special trip from like where I live, 20 miles, but no, not hundreds of miles. But if you're ever in New Orleans and you're a whiskey adventurer, or food adventurer or any kind of alcohol adventurer, I would go there because they sell beer from India that I've never seen anywhere else, like Taj Mahal and Flying Horse Lager. Only place left I know that sells Efes from Turkey. So anyway, all right. Whoops. Poured a little too much of the BCW, I believe. Oh no, that's Ancient Age Preferred. Well, I don't want to drink too much of this stuff, so I'm going to sip this down a little bit. It isn't going to be any kind of contest anyway, because I've never tasted anything so unusual as Bellows Club Whiskey. When I did a standalone video solo review, it was fine and I liked it. And I said it was the second best tasting blended whiskey that I had next to Seagram 7 Crown. But then when I started doing these taste challenges, flavors started to fall apart. Like I said, well, why does it have this extremely harsh or bold, you could say, peppery note, like they went crazy with rye. And that bottle is 25 years old. It's from 1994. Probably been tucked away in some warehouse somewhere. And I think that's what International Market does. They go around, and if they hear, they might be connected to some network, or if they hear a place is going to get shut down, they go buy up all their stock. Because like they have this huge supply of Pinnacle Gin. Most people don't even sell Pinnacle Gin. They sell Pinnacle Vodka. But Pinnacle Gin, green bottle. It's like, where'd they get all this? And then they had all that huge amount of Canadian Club. Well, I noticed they only had one bottle left. People went in there and scavenged it all down. It was a 6-year age. And they had some 5-year too mixed in. And then I went over there Thursday last week, and they had the Skull rum. 1 liter now, not 750, but 1,000 milliliters. Glass bottle, not some cheap plastic. For $7.99. Then I could not resist. Is Skull any good? This I do not know. I know it's been on the market for 63 years. I know that much. So it's imported from the British Virgin Islands. Beyond that, I don't know much. I know it was a Barton brand, which means now it's Sazerac, because Sazerac bought the entire Barton company 10 years ago. Lock, stock, and barrel, everything. All the brands, all the facilities, all the everything. Okay. Well, here we go. Yeah, no, I'm wearing my New Orleans Saints hat. I think the appearance is pretty much the same. This one's a little darker, but I can't remember which was which. But anyway, I'm gonna know. Well, I'll know for sure on taste, but on aroma, I'll probably know. So let's go with it. All right. I'm just going through the motions with these because, like with the Barton, it's going to be the same thing. Now with King Square, that's kind of an odd item too, so that could be more of a challenge. And the Seagram 7 Crown, that won't be any challenge. Seagram's going to kill it, I think, because I was smelling the bottles yesterday evening. Like took the cap off and I went down the line, and then when I got the Seagram 7 Crown, I was like, wood. It's deep. It has rich character. That is a blended whiskey worth buying. And I reposted something that Seagram 7 Crown had on their Facebook page, and I put that on my you can join it if you want, Alcohol Eggs on Facebook, Alcohol Eggs. And we talk about, well, you know, alcoholic beverages, beer, wine, and liquor. The main thing they seem to be interested is beer. But they were showing the only mixed drink you need to make, and they were showing a glass of beer, more than likely Harp Lager. And if you know the ownership of 7 Crown, you'll understand why. Looked like a glass of Harp Lager, and they dropped a shot glass of Seagram 7 Crown in it. And that was the little video clip they had. So people on Alcohol Eggs like that. And I've been posting some really old Pabst advertisements from the 1930s and 40s and 50s. And Pabst back then, they don't make this claim today, but back then they claimed it was a blend of 33 different beers. 33 different beers blended in. Well, you know, a lot of mass-produced beer is blended. They don't just take one aging tank and put it out because it might be too sweet. The other one might be too bitter. The other one might be too whatever. So they blend them together. They do that with Budweiser. It's like Jack Daniels. They don't just grab barrels and bottle it. They blend the barrels until they get the right Jack Daniels flavor. The single barrel, that's okay. That's what that is. They grab a barrel and they put the barrel number and you buy it. And you pay a lot more. Now, is it better? Well, at least you think it is because it's from a single barrel. But like the guy explained on the tour, it doesn't really make it better. It's the same barrels. It's everything that we're doing in this barrel house. It's sort of like they missed a step and then you pay more for it because they skipped a step, but you think you're getting more. That's kind of unusual. But he got angry when I said blend. He said, we don't blend. We mingle. We mingle the whiskeys because if you put something in a blender, I said, whatever term you want to use, you know, like the Scottish guys were talking about your casks. Oh, he flipped out. We don't use casks. You put a dead man in a casket. We use barrels. Oh, like this guy is something, huh? It was funny though. It was funny. Like, we don't age our whiskey in barrels, we mellow it. I said, okay. Like the whole tour was euphemisms. This smells like regular old whiskey, American blended whiskey. What do I mean? Dried flowers, candied fruit, cake fruit, sweet corn, and not a whole lot more. So I think that must be the ancient age. Little sourdough bread, though, and you see ancient age, if you read that bottle, they say they use sour mash bourbon in it. 20% is sour mash bourbon. What sour mash bourbon? I mean, probably ancient age straight bourbon, which is only aged 3 years, by the way. This one is a 4-year age. This ancient age preferred. Same price as the straight bourbon, by the way. Same price. So you can buy a blended whiskey that's 80% grain neutral spirits, 20% straight bourbon, or you could buy ancient age that's 100% straight bourbon whiskey. Now, whatever for whatever reason, some people prefer the preferred, and the other ones get the ancient age. It's the same price. All right. Whoa. I'm gonna read some comments if there are any in a minute. This one is a lot more sugary sweet, like corn syrup. Now, do they take corn syrup and make the bourbon from it instead of corn grits? I suppose you could do it. The U.S. government only requires that it be 51% corn. It doesn't say what type of corn. It's just corn. When I was at Barton, though, I was watching them make the grits, so they were smashing it with a hammer. So I assume it's grits, but we don't know. All right. Oh, there's a little pepper in the nose. Okay, well, this is getting me. This is a little difficult. Sometimes you get tricked, don't you? Okay, this is the Bellows. Got it now. Got it now. See, the Bellows is just much more pungent and strong and peppery. A lot of times with these whiskeys, you got to let them breathe. And when they get aerated, then you say, oh, okay, I got it. Now, which aroma is better? This is nice and deep gold, so it looks pretty. This one is gold, but not deep gold. So it looks nice, but do they have coloring added? I don't know, maybe. They're both at least 4 years old. They probably don't really need to add color if they have them in a barrel 4 years, but maybe, I don't know. Okay, which one smells better? I guess it's a tie. It's like a personal preference thing. Do you want the richer, deeper rye thing, or do you want the richer, deeper sweet corn? I don't know. Maybe I'll prefer the sweet corn, but I don't know. Now the taste. Ooh. Do I really want to do this? Okay. I don't know about this stuff. I don't know why it would be that heavily rye oriented. It's like it's abrasive with rye spice. Like, why don't you just put a bunch of rye seeds in your mouth? Now, I'm not joking about that. I don't know where this would come from. Like, why would this be that what they're trying to do? Blended and bottled at Frankfort, Kentucky and Claremont, Kentucky under the United States government supervision. Bellows doesn't say anything about super ride up. Yeah, the whiskeys are 4 more years or older. 4 years, yeah, 4 more years. That's how it's written. 4 or more. Okay, I got it. 4 or more years old. And then 80% grain neutral spirits, which aren't aged. So the 20% of this is aged at least 4 years. They don't even have to put that. If they don't put any age, it's by default at least 4 years. That's the law. You know, we can't even get into the count room to watch our own money. That's the law. All right. So let's go over here. What does ancient age say? Preferred blended whiskey, crafted, blended, carefully blended according to the finest old traditions. You know, that's just marketing stuff. Here's where the 20% straight Kentucky whiskey, 80% spirits distilled from the finest grains. I thought it said sour mash. You know what I'm thinking of? Ancient age straight bourbon. Another thing interesting, the ancient age is in that kind of Jack Daniels type bottle. You know that one I'm talking about? But this one is in the Sazerac standard bottle. I guess to set it apart from the bourbon. All right. Oh. Oh. Mm-mm. Those are nice label. Isn't this an ugly label now? Got this big warning. Warning. Used to be a pretty label. Yeah, that's your government at work trying to ruin everything, make everything look ugly. Like as if you didn't know this about, why would you not know this about Cheyenne? So they approach you as though you have no brain. Like, you know, that's these Puritans, the modern Puritans. We talked about modern Puritan, the old Puritans from England and New England, the New England states, the Yankees, the Puritans. They were very irritating to everybody. In England too, they're very dictatorial in their outlook. If you study history, the Puritans not only had odd religious beliefs on their own, they're the kind of people that are not comfortable if everybody else is not forced to adopt their beliefs through the power of the law. So they want everybody to do what they want them to do. And they're willing to kill to do it. And you say, no, you're talking about Islamic. So you're not talking about the Puritan. You know, I am talking about the Puritans. Study the English Civil War and see what they're willing to do. Study New England and study, they were willing to attack other states in 1861. So that's the Puritans. And so you got the modern Puritanism. We have to control and lecture to everybody, and everybody has to be under our control. And But I don't want to start ranting on that. But that, and so we got to make cigarette packages ugly and cigar packages ugly and whiskey, and we must tell everybody what to do. And we're going to ban every video we don't like. We're going to block every video we don't like. We're going to ban every comment we don't like. We're going to block every comment we don't like. We're going to block, ban, block, ban, ban, block. And that's how you have freedom in this world. That's their mentality. That's freedom in their mind. You see, well, that sounds like the people out in Syria and Iraq and all of these people. Yeah, same mindset. The mindset is, I want to control your life so that you can have freedom to do whatever I say. You see, that's what we deal with. Now, coming from Louisiana, there's a different viewpoint, you see. We're not raised with that. We will control your mind and your behavior and your activities and regulate your life, take your wife, learn to duck, you're out of luck. All right. All right. Which one's better? Well, and Canada has even more modern Puritanism laws today. They're becoming more like a Cuba. Canada's more and more like Cuba. Now they got this thing in Ontario that police can stop you over at will and make you take a blood test and all this, a breathalyzer test. So you say, well, good thing we fought the communists in Vietnam. Yeah, so that we could have it here. We fought them there so we could have that here. But much worse here, you know. In Vietnam, they're communist in theory, right? But in practice, it's not really like that. You know, it's more like Southeast Asian business enterprise where the rules are only for the books. They pretty much do whatever they want. All right, because you could pay people off. And okay, but Canada, United States, when they're virtuous, I can't be paid off. You have to be controlled. Okay, well, anyway, I don't really like this club whiskey. I'm sorry. I did like it at first, and now every time I try it, it gets worse. And we've had this experience with beer, wine, and liquor, especially beer and then whiskey in some cases, where each subsequent tasting of it is worse than the previous. Not a good sign. Sorry, Bellows. Bellows is saying, don't apologize to me. I no longer exist. Apologize to Luxco, right? Yeah, the ancient age is much more smoother and pleasant. Now, is it bountiful and flavorful and just, oh, it's so rich in depth and has depth of flavor? None of those things. I said it's smooth. It's still bland and dull. And it's everything you always wanted in a blended whiskey and less. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't up the game. It's just in the game. It's 80% grain neutral spirits, and when you taste it, you'll believe it. You say, this stuff tastes like neutrality. You know how they have a march and they say, this is what democracy looks like. Probably more like what a hammer and sickle looks like. But this is what blended whiskey looks like. Neutrality. But this is what, I don't know what this looks like. Oh, the aroma's not so bad, but when you taste it, can't go there. You say you can't go there, but you got a whole liter bottle. I know. Look what I have to go through for this. Oh man, I got 800 milliliters of sadness coming. LX Tapia. Hello, LSX Tapia. Good hearing from you. He says, how about them Saints, Ron? Yeah, it's questionable. Met Drew Brees about 4 years ago. Man, he was a super down-to-earth guy, even a little shy. He gained a fan for life. Well, that's good. I never met him. But I know a lot of people have. Okay, so that's it. Ancient age wins. I prefer Ancient Age Preferred. It has a smoother flavor, doesn't have much flavor, a mellower body, and a smooth finish. And it's just mellow, mild, mellow. If you want to say boring, blah, bland, dull, I'll go along with that. But it's not offensive. It's not like, it doesn't make you jump back. All right. This Bellows Club whiskey. Oh, mama, 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 mama. I might as well be drinking spearmint gum. Wintergreen. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they got in there. My friend David's like, don't drink that old whiskey. You're going to get sick. He said, I bought some old scotch one time at that salvage store in north of the lake, and it was making me walk sideways, and I didn't even drink a lot of it. I was like, what? I don't see how it could be poison. You know, like, I don't see how this is just a liquor. It was never opened before I bought it. You know, I mean, what did they do? It was at the nuclear power plant, and they got it from there. I mean, it doesn't taste like that. It just doesn't taste good. Maybe that's why they don't make it anymore. Maybe people didn't like it. Maybe they complained that the rye was too strong, you know? And so they said, kill it off. I'm very curious to try the Bellows whiskey, you know, just Bellows. Okay, so I have to do the J&B Scotch against every other Scotch I own. That's been open, so that's going to take a while. And then I've got to do a new Canadian blended whiskey. I think I'm going to do the Caliber. About time, isn't it? Then I'll go up against all the other Canadian whiskeys. Then when I roll back around come back around the bend, then I'll do Bellows, American blended whiskey. Oh, it just says blended whiskey, but you know it's American. But and I'll see how the Bellows, just a regular old Bellows, matches up against this rye spectacle. Yeah, this rye spectacle. Now, do I have it right? I mean, if I have this wrong, I will quit doing taste challenges forever, or at least till Tuesday. BCW, Bellows Club Whiskey. I did it, which is not saying much. Because there's no way you would ever get them confused. Ouch, that hurts. Maybe I'm just not too used to that mintiness. And I like mint, but that's like, it's almost like natural mint. Like if you got mint out of the garden, my mom used to get the regular mint, like she would pick mint, she would grow. And that was harsh. She put it in tea and stuff. It was like, oh, this is like that. I don't know what the heck's going on, man. All right. Well, I went on and on till the break of dawn. There's dawn. There's daytime. I woke up so early. I went to sleep so early. I fell asleep so early. I didn't even watch the Dallas Cowboys game, but against the Rams, and I woke up and watched the whole replay. Like, you know, they have it on YouTube, like the entire game summarized or compressed. I said, oh, they made a game of it, but they couldn't handle the Rams. But I go to sleep so early now. I'm almost like nocturnal, right? I wake up so early in the morning. It's like half my day is the nighttime. Like Blue Oyster Cult. I love the night. But anyway, I know that's wrong key. I love the night. I'll get it right, but it doesn't matter. But I woke up at 12:30 and I couldn't get back to sleep for about an hour, so I ended up waking up at 2:30. But I had this really weird dream that I was walking around over there by the street, and I heard something talking. And it kept saying, oh, walking on the path. I said, walking on the path. And I looked back and I said, oh, it's a parrot. Somebody trained a parrot to talk. And it kept saying, I'm walking on the path. Walking on the path. But then I looked and I said, I've never seen a parrot like this, because it had a man's mouth with human teeth. And it was a big, fluffy head. It looked almost like Pigman on Ultraman. And I was really freaked out. I'm looking at it. And it just said it again. Walking on the path. walking on the path. It said it strange like that. And I said, what's your name? And it said, what's your name? And then there were two others, smaller ones with the face and the teeth. I could draw a picture of it for you if I had a pen and paper. And I said, what's your name? And they couldn't talk. They were just saying, they were mouthing it. And I said to myself, walking on the path, what does that mean? What are these? What is this going on? And then I woke up at 2:30 this morning. So, well, that was a peculiar dream. I say, well, if I ever go walking and I see these creatures and they ask me walking on the path, I'll be very, very concerned. All right, thanks for watching. True story. Thanks for watching this video production.